They called me the killer clown, but they didn't know the half of it. My name is John Wayne Gacy, and beneath the painted smile and friendly facade was something far darker. By day, I was a successful businessman, a well-respected figure in my community. I organized parties, entertained children, and shook hands with politicians. But by night, I became something else, a predator. My house on Summerdale Avenue became a tomb, a place where innocents came to die. It always started the same way. A job offer, a handshake, and an invitation back to my house. I told them I was giving them a chance, a shot at work or mentorship. They trusted me, and why wouldn't they? I was just a harmless man with a love for community. Inside my home, I would show them a magic trick. I'd hand them a pair of handcuffs and say, "Watch how easily I can escape." And when they tried, they never could. That's when I'd tell them the truth. The trick, I'd whisper, is that you don't escape. The basement was where it happened. The walls seemed to close in as my anger took over. They begged, they cried, but I didn't stop. I saw myself in their terror, weak, powerless, and disposable. And I hated it. When I was done, when their voices went silent, I dragged them into the crawl space. It was my personal graveyard. I told myself they were forgotten, that no one would miss them. They were drifters, runaways, young men with no direction. I was doing the world a favor, cleaning up the streets. But the truth was, it wasn't about them. It was about me. The power, the control, the ability to decide who lived and who didn't, it was intoxicating. For years, I got away with it. Even when people began to suspect, I smiled, cracked a joke, and reassured them. Gacy? No, he's harmless. But in 1978, one boy changed everything. His name was Robert Piest, and he wasn't a runaway. He had a family, people who cared, people who wouldn't stop looking. The police came to my door. I laughed, invited them in, even offered them coffee. But they kept digging, and eventually, they found what I'd buried. 33 lives, stuffed into my crawl space like trash. The evidence was undeniable. In court, they called me a monster, and maybe they were right. I smiled when they read my sentence, death. I wasn't afraid. I knew my name would live on in infamy, that people would speak of John Wayne Gacy long after I was gone. And isn't that what we all want? To be remembered?